morning edition of Capital Showdown. We're broadcasting live from the iconic Jantar Mantar. It was once known for its historical and architectural significance, and as you can see today behind me, this has become the unofficial protest center in the national capital following the Anna movement. This is the most vibrant vocal space in the national capital. This is the space that has given birth to public figures like Arvind Kejriwal and Kiran Bedi, who are battling it out for the national capital. I'm just going to get in a reaction from this person who makes chai here. He's been here for the last 25 years. 25 साल से आपकी दुकान है यहाँ पे?
हाँ जी मैडम, 25 साल से है।
तो आपने अन्ना मूवमेंट देखा था, अरविंद केजरीवाल, किरण बेदी यहाँ थे, क्या लगा था उस आंदोलन के बारे में?
आंदोलन के बारे में उस समय क्या लगना था जी, हम तो सोच रहे थे कि मतलब देश के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन देश के लिए कोई नहीं लड़ता है, सब अपने लिए लड़ते हैं। एक अन्ना हजारी सही आदमी निकला, बाकी केजरीवाल भी।
Okay, so there you have it. There is this person who's been here for the last 25 years. He's seen the Anna movement, and he says that Kiran Bedi and Arvind Kejriwal are only fighting, not really for the people. Okay. Let's kickstart this morning edition of Capital Showdown. We have a cracking lineup for you. Remember, 4 days of campaigning left before Delhi goes for elections. It was a power-packed Sunday yesterday in the national capital with over 70 rallies. It promises to be an even more action-packed Monday morning. My colleagues Brijesh Pandey and Jugal Purohit will be joining us live from the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP camps to get us the insights on what we can expect to see happen today. Without any further ado, I'd like to begin with the top story on Capital Showdown today, which is this particular ad that you can see. As you can see, this is the latest ad that the BJP has in fact put out against Arvind Kejriwal. Remember, in the past, they've attacked him for being a liar. They've attacked him for, in fact, leaving the government. They've attacked him on a lot of grounds, and today they've attacked him for being an anarchist. I have somebody here with me who's seen this ad. What do you think about this ad? Do you think the BJP is fair in attacking Kejriwal every day?
Very fair enough. When Kejriwal claims, he was claiming last year, what is 26 January? 26 January is all about आप जाओ झांकी देखो घर पे आ जाओ. तो फिर वो इस साल क्यों रो रहा है कि उसको सिर्फ झांकी देखने जानी है? वो पिछली साल तो यही बोल रहा था कि
Okay, so here is somebody who clearly seems to agree with the fact that the BJP has launched this campaign against Arvind Kejriwal. I'm joined by my colleague Brijesh Pandey from the national capital. Brijesh, very good morning to you. Latest advertisement by the BJP creating quite a stir. What's up with the BJP? Is they plan to give Arvind Kejriwal so much space in the dailies every day?
Well, absolutely, Rishika. They have planned this series of advertisement which has started day before yesterday and looks like it will continue till 5th when the last day for campaigning in Delhi will be there. So it looks like the Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi state unit of BJP is planning an ad campaign based on the kind of style which the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is practicing, which is attacking Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal without mentioning them even once. We saw the first ad, and they are also saying that these ads are designed in a fashion which will expose the double speak of Aam Aadmi Party and especially its convener Arvind Kejriwal, who had been saying one thing when he was on his pursuit and was the Chief Minister of Delhi, and is saying another thing when he is fighting for this Delhi Assembly election. Rishika?
Okay, clearly the strategy of the BJP going forward appears to be to continue to target Arvind Kejriwal on his past track record. While there is a battle that's being fought on the streets of the national capital, there's a parallel battle that the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party are fighting at this point in time. Arvind Kejriwal is also fighting a legal battle. There is Arvind Kejriwal who will in fact be going to the Election Commission today to answer some tough questions on that ad that the Aam Aadmi Party had put out behind auto rickshaws, calling Kiran Bedi an opportunist and Arvind Kejriwal and honest politicians. Were expecting Kejriwal to be going to the Election Commission today. Also, at the Tees Hazari court, there is a case that has in fact been filed against Arvind Kejriwal for his bribery remark. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal had told people of Delhi that you can accept bribes from the BJP and the Congress but vote only for the Aam Aadmi Party. So clearly there is a fair bit of legal trouble for Arvind Kejriwal. Remains to be seen what exactly happens today. All right. The next story that we're tracking is also emanating from the BJP camp. After the Aam Aadmi Party on Saturday released a 70-point action plan. The BJP, in a certain sense, has been very conspicuous by its silence when it comes to a manifesto or a vision document. There is a fair bit of ambiguity surrounding the fact that the BJP has so far not released a vision document. Kiran Bedi reacted to questions that Headlines Today put forth to her this morning on the vision document. Let's listen into what she had to say.
आपको ऐसी विजन मिलने वाली है जो पूर्ण होगी, जो हर दिल्ली वासी के लिए होगी, हर दिल्ली वासी के लिए, चाहे वो कहीं जिले में रहता हो, अमीर घर में रहता हो या गरीब घर में रहता हो, वंचित हो या उसके पास सब कुछ हो। ये ऐसा विजन डॉक्यूमेंट है जो दिल्ली को 2050 के लिए तैयार करेगी। ये विजन है, दिस इज अ विजन फॉर दिल्ली 2050, अ विजन फॉर दिल्ली टू बिकम अ वर्ल्ड क्लास सिटी।
All right, joining me live is my colleague Brijesh Pandey, who's still with us. Brijesh, when is the BJP likely to be releasing a vision document? What is it that is the hurdle? Is it that the BJP can't make up its mind about full statehood? Given the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party has made a huge splash with that 70-point action plan, when are we likely to see the BJP release its vision?
Well, Rishika, this is one question which I think today every journalist is asking every single BJP leader, be it a state BJP leader or central BJP leader, but there is absolutely no clarity on when are they going to go ahead and launch a vision document. Kiran Bedi, their chief ministerial candidate in her private capacity, had already released a 25-point working point in which she'll be working to make sure that the life of women and various other issues in Delhi, but there has been no official vision document. Remember, today is 2nd of February. And campaigning in Delhi will end on 5th of February and the voting is on 7th. So, I mean, we are already very, very late vis-a-vis the vision or the manifesto of the BJP. But there is absolutely no clarity on this. We were given to understand and we were told by some BJP leader in private that, you know, we might expect a vision document today itself. But now, after saying that, they have again got back into a huddle and there is absolutely no clarity on when they are planning to release it. Rishika?
Also, we'd like to point to our viewers at this point in time an uncanny kind of a similarity between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party's vision for Delhi. While the BJP is yet to release its vision document, both parties seem to be making similar sounds. They're talking about CCTV cameras, they're talking about women's safety, they're talking about wooing the young voter, colleges, development. Clearly, the battle for Delhi, like no other, being fought on the development plank with both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party trying to figure out that it is in fact development that will probably get them the votes. But what is it that Delhi really wants? What is it that Delhi is really going to vote for? I have a teacher who is here with me. Ma'am, what do you think is the biggest demand for Delhi? What do you think Delhiites are going to vote on?
No corruption.
No corruption. You think issues like corruption still dominate the discourse over issues like women's security, over issues, like education?
No, no doubt women's security is the major issue. But apart from that, the public, what public thinks is that there should be no corruption in Delhi.
Okay, there should be no corruption in Delhi. आप लोगों को क्या लगता है कि सबसे बड़ा चुनावी मुद्दा क्या है?
चुनावी मुद्दा भ्रष्टाचार और बेरोजगारी.
Berozgari and Bhrashtachar, unemployment and corruption and women's safety and security seem to be dominating the discourse about what really is it that Delhiites want. All right, Brijesh Pandey is also live with us. Brijesh, I'd just like to ask you, while there is ambiguity over when the BJP is likely to be releasing that much talked about vision document, Kiran Bedi has put out a blueprint and there is some kind of an uncanny similarity in the noises that the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP are making at this point in time.
Well, absolutely. I mean, women's security, corruption and unemployment and wooing of youth are the four major factors which are prevalent. If you remember post-Nirbhaya incident, the horrific Nirbhaya incident, the safety of women in Delhi has become a major electoral issue, and it also almost single-handedly led to the ouster of Sheila Dikshit government, because the public at large felt that the Congress government was extremely insensitive at the whole incident, and this was politically this was one of the biggest political movement which started when Kejriwal and BJP and every other party, kind of joined in the electoral fray. And these issues have not subsided. Delhi has not witnessed any decline in crime against women. So if you listen to the speeches made by Kiran Bedi, 60% of her speeches are dominated by the fact that, what she will do to ensure the safety and security of women in Delhi once she is voted to as the Chief Minister of Delhi. Rishika?
Right. Also, Jugal Purohit, I beg your pardon, is also live with us. Jugal, we talk about the BJP's vision, we talk about the Aam Aadmi Party's vision. Ultimately, it boils down to the voter. What is really on the mind of the voter? We spoke to a couple of people here at Jantar Mantar. They seem to suggest that anti-corruption, women's safety are still issues that dominate the discourse, and these are issues that have topped Arvind Kejriwal's manifesto as well.
Thank you, Rishika, for getting my name right. Indeed, and let's not forget the issue of price rise is also something which is on the top of the minds of the 1.3 crore voters that Delhi has, of which 70% are voters who, in a sense, do not belong to the so-called middle or the higher middle class. A majority, overwhelming majority, belongs to, much more modest households, and for whom even this winter, traditionally a period which sees the prices calming down, prices of vegetables, pulses, but this time around they're not seeing the same, despite there being a global drawdown on the prices of oil. They're saying that there's not much that has changed for them. The retailers are not dropping their prices. The public transport is not getting cheaper for them. So price rise is also an issue which is no doubt going to be on top of the mind for a lot of people, locals in Delhi, and one cannot perhaps overemphasize its importance in this election campaign. Arvind Kejriwal, in fact, has been speaking about getting electricity prices down, lifetime water supply free of cost. So, one cannot necessarily bring it down to 2 or 3 points and discount the impact that price rise will have in this election.
Well, absolutely. Price rise is a key issue. We did hear a voter here at Jantar Mantar, in fact, talk about unemployment also being one of the key issues. Clearly, it seems that Arvind Kejriwal has, in fact, addressed all of those key issues in the 70-point agenda. And of course, all eyes now on Camp BJP as to when they plan to release that much talked about vision document. Kiran Bedi so far has only put out a blueprint. When the BJP comes out and makes those big announcements, we're going to continue to track developments on that very closely. My colleague Brijesh Pandey and Jugal Purohit, appreciate you joining me on Capital Showdown this morning. Okay, it's going to be an action-packed day in the national capital. There were 70 rallies yesterday, being the last Sunday before Delhi goes to polls, and on Monday we can expect the BJP getting its big names to campaign yet again. Rajnath Singh, Smriti Irani, Manoj Tiwari, Shahnawaz Hussain and Navjot Singh Sidhu will be among those holding multiple rallies in the national capital. The Aam Aadmi Party is also giving its all to the election campaign. Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal going to address election rallies in Nehru Nagar, Old Rajinder Nagar and Karol Bagh later this evening. All right, now on to our segment called I Said It. We have none other than the poet of the Aam Aadmi Party, Kumar Vishwas, who has in his inimitable style as always mocked the Narendra Modi government. Let's listen in to what Kumar Vishwas had to say.
भाइयों बहनों, अच्छे दिन आएंगे अगर केंद्र में भाजपा की सरकार आए तो घर घर में विकास पैदा होगा। भाजपा की सरकार आई तो व्यवस्था परिवर्तन होगा। घर का व्यवस्था कहाँ है? बोले पहले धर्म परिवर्तन करो। उन्होंने कहा हमारे पास तो कोई था नहीं, तुम्हारे ही खानदान से तुम्हारी बड़ी बहन को लाए भाई। जब वो पीसी हुई, जब वो घोषणा हुई तो मैंने सतीश उपाध्याय जी का चेहरा देखा। ऐसा लग रहा था कि दूल्हे ने कोट सिलवा लिया और घोड़ी भाग गई। हर्षवर्धन जी के चेहरे से हर्ष गायब था। जगदीश मुखी, जगदीश दुखी दिखाई दे रहे हैं।
Welcome back. You're tuned in into the morning edition of Capital Showdown. We're broadcasting live from Jantar Mantar, which has been the protest center in the national capital for ever since actually the Anna Hazare movement, which gave birth to Kiran Bedi and Arvind Kejriwal, who are in fact fighting this very high octane political campaign, which has reached its crescendo in the last 24 hours. All right, time now for a special segment on Capital Showdown. We call it it is a special viewer segment where you, the viewer, can ask the politician of your choice a question, and we dial him live here on Capital Showdown to answer it. This segment is called I Have a Question. Let's listen into today's question.
I am Minati Singh. I have a question for Harun Yusuf. You have been winning the Balli Maran seat from last 3 to 4 times, but when I go on the ground, I don't see any changes. Why should I vote for you this time? Because from the last 3-4 times, whenever I have been there, I didn't find any change. So do you have any vision for Balli Maran?
All right, so that was our viewer asking Harun Yusuf a question. He has been winning from Balli Maran. I'm going to now try and dial Harun Yusuf live here this morning on Capital Showdown, so we can speak to him and get him to answer that question. All right, my producers tell me that we have in fact managed to connect with Harun Yusuf. Sir, good morning to you. Thank you so much for speaking with Headlines today. Our viewer has a very important question for you. Balli Maran has voted for you time and time again. What is it that you have in your vision for them this time around? Why should they in fact come out and vote for you yet again?
Delhi, in walled city, the population is increasing, but there is no space to increase or for any kind of development. Every time we have to concentrate on the sewage system and the water lines and the power. In the last 11 years, I have got almost all the transformers changed, and Balli Maran is the constituency where you get 24 hours. And as far as the water is concerned, I had to work very hard because of the growing population, and there is no space to expand. People go vertical, and then we had to provide them water and sanitation facilities.
Harun Yusuf, we request you to stay on with us. There is yet another question that is in fact coming your way. All right, the next question that is in fact coming your way is that Mr. Harun Yusuf, what is it that you eat for breakfast that keeps you going till the last leg of campaigning, with just 4 days to go? It's really hectic, everybody working 24/7. What's the breakfast that keeps you going?
I take the sandwiches in the car, and that is what my food is. The whole day we go on, and at about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, we take our dinner.
All right, you have the luxury of carrying a sandwich with you, and I've had the luxury of having some very nice cups of tea here at Jantar Mantar early this morning. With that, it's a wrap on the morning edition of Capital Showdown. We, of course, will be broadcasting live at 7 p.m. this evening with my colleague Preeti Chaudhary, and 9:30 a.m. again. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another cracking lineup. Stay tuned to Headlines Today for all the news and updates.